It should feel and sound a little bit different than it did 10 minutes ago. Now, for how many people is it feeling and sounding different? Okay, good. Have a seat. Now, what we just did is neurophysiological priming. Okay, what that means, good athletes do what before they perform, before they go and work out? They stretch and they warm up, right? Great performers in every category warm up their brain and their mind and their body for it. What we just did is a series of warm-ups that help you get primed for your best performance. Now, the music you just sang towards the end is probably coherent, probably made musical sense. The phrase is probably music that probably swings, the rhythm's coherent, right? You got that way by getting your motor running, by pretending. First thing we did is I just had you sing it ordinarily. And then we sang with, we scattered with gestures, and that kind of got you out of yourself. And then I had you listen and imagine a model that was really good, somebody you really admired. And then we moved the body. So you can do any of those things to get your motor running, to get started, to get warmed up, because that's how you allow the music that's already inside you to start coming out. How many of you were surprised, even a little bit, about the quality of phrases that were coming out when you sang? Or how many of you were they better than you had maybe thought before? Well, here's the secret. I believe every person has music inside them. And at least half of the job of becoming proficient at whatever your musical goal is opening the channel, opening the space, getting into a state where you allow that music to come out. So the first principle is get your motor running. Everybody say, get your motor running. Turn to the person next to you and say, get your motor running. So you can do this before combo, you can do it in your rehearsal anytime, you just begin to practice. So that's the first principle. Here's the second one. I'm going to be two people. I don't mean I'm serious, but yes you are, you said we were talking, never mind. I'm going to pretend to be two people, person A and person B, and I want you to tell me what you see different about the two. And these are two people who are about to give a recital, okay, a piano recital. So here's person A. Person A. First movement of Bach's French Suite number 5 in G major. Okay, here's person B. You're glad I didn't play, aren't you? Person B. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. My name is Pickens. I'm going to play for you the first movement of Bach's French Suite number 5 in G major. This is the Alma Mater. Well, you can't see attitude. Attitude is visible too. What did you see? Posture. What else? What? Body language. What else? Facial expression. What else? The way he talked. Voice, tone. What else? What? Smile. Thank you very much. What else did you see? Okay, good. What do you think was going on in person A's mind? Fear, panic, nervous, agony, embarrassment. Yeah. What do you think person A was focusing on mostly? What was wrong and so forth. Yeah. What do you think person A was thinking about you when you got up there? He was probably really concerned about what you thought of him, right? So what do you think person B was focusing on as he was preparing, as he came up here?
What I had to contribute.
Yes, what he had to contribute. What else? What kind of images do you think were going through his mind, if any?
Playing well.
Yes, of him playing well, etc. Now, something I discovered, because when I had my stage fright issue, it triggered like what's become a lifelong search into the principles of really high performance, not only in music but in other areas. And I noticed that people who perform at their best consistently, whether it's Olympic athletes, whether it's business people, whether it's speakers, whether it's musicians, whatever, there's a critical distinction. What's a critical distinction? That was pretty cool. It was they perform to express, not to impress. To express, not to impress. I'm reminded of a story about Van Gogh. Everybody here's heard of Van Gogh, right? Painter. All right, good. Let's check. Van Gogh, when he was in his 20s, lived in London, and he lived in a tiny little apartment. And it looked over a street, public street. And one night, he was writing a letter to his brother. He looked out the window, and he saw this full moon and a starlit sky, and the moonlight just touching this street lamp at a beautiful angle. And what he did is he turned the letter over and wrote to his brother. He drew a picture of that night. And he said, I had to share this with you because it is so beautiful. That's the reason great performers perform. Because they experience something that's beautiful and they want to share it. So the focus is not on what you think of me, because what you think of me is none of my business. All right? The focus is really on what can I express? How can I share this beauty, this possibility, and so forth? Okay, so person B is thinking more about that, and it's much more common. There's one more thing that the both of them are doing, though, that I'd like to demonstrate a little bit for you. Everybody, let me tell you a story first. If you were an actor, you may be an actor, but if you were an actor, and you were playing a very depressed role, a very depressing role where you were moping around, miserable, and I were to take your blood beforehand, and then afterwards, and test it for your immune system, white blood cell count, and so forth. Do you know after simply playing that role, your immune system would be suppressed? You would have less active white blood cells as a result of playing a depressed role. On the other hand, if you were to play a confident role and an empowering role, and a role in which you felt really great, and you acted as though that were true for you, we did the same thing, and your immune system would have gotten better. Your white cell count would have gone up. So how we act literally changes the chemistry of our cells, but it also can change how we feel. Let me give you an example. Would you please sit? Some of you won't change at all, but I want you to sit right now as though you were really, really bored and tired. Okay. 4 people did not move a bit. Now, you do that really well. Breathe the way you breathe, you know, just kind of go there, right? Now, in a moment, I'm going to play a chord. And it's the chord that the Russian composer Alexander Scriabin called the mystic chord. He thought that when enough people heard or sang or played this chord, humanity would instantly be enlightened. Well, either he was wrong or enough people haven't done the chord yet. But when you hear the chord, what I want you to do is I want you to sit as though you're more alert and energized than you've ever been in your entire life when you hear this chord. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you do better than that. Go back. More tired, more tired, more tired. When you hear the chord, 1, 2, 3. Good, now get that look in your eyes. You know that look, I'm just so alert. Now feel it, just let yourself feel really, 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 really alert and energized. You can do better than that. Come on, really, really alert. Let me see it in your eyes. Let me see your eyes sparkle. Yeah, now you stay like that for a while. Just like imagine that what I'm going to say next is the most amazing thing you have ever heard, and that you came all the way here from wherever you came from to hear this next thing. Exactly, that's right. Now, I want you to imagine that it's, let's see, it's Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa morning. Take your pick, right? Okay? And you're about six years old, and you come downstairs. You live upstairs, and under the Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa thing, whatever, there is this great gift. And if you're 6 years old and you've been waiting for this gift all your short life, and when you see it, you go, oh. Okay, so I want you to do that. Ready, set, go. Good. Now what you just did is you just flooded your body with endorphins and